Most people don't love, they attach. They don't see love for what it is. They see it through the lens of their own fears, their own wounds, their own need for security. They mistake possession for connection, control for intimacy, dependence for devotion. And when that attachment is threatened, when someone pulls away, it feels like the world is collapsing. But love, real love, doesn't feel like that. Love does not grip you with fear. Love does not make you afraid of being alone. So ask yourself, when you think of them, do you feel peace, or do you feel panic? Because love, in its purest form, does not make you suffer. Attachment does. Attachment is the voice in your head that says, I need them to be happy. Attachment is the sinking feeling in your stomach when they don't text back. Attachment is the way your mind races, searching for ways to pull them closer, terrified of losing them. But love is stillness. Love is presence. Love is the quiet knowing that no matter what happens, you are whole. If the thought of losing someone makes you feel like you are losing a part of yourself, then what you feel is not love. It is attachment. You are not meant to disappear inside of another person. You are not meant to live in fear of their absence. Love is not supposed to make you beg, or chase, or prove your worth, just to keep someone close. If it is love, it will not feel like desperation. If it is love, it will not consume you. So sit with this for a moment. If the person you love walked away tomorrow, who would you be without them? If the answer terrifies you, then you have found the truth. This is not love. This is something else entirely, and that is where your work begins. Because love, true love, should not make you afraid. It should not make you feel like you will break if they leave. Love should set you free, not chain you to the fear of loss. But if you don't know how to love without attachment, don't worry. That's exactly what you're about to learn. If what you've known until now has been attachment, then how do you begin to love without it? Loving without attachment isn't about shutting off your emotions. It's not about distancing yourself to avoid pain or pretending you don't care. It's about learning a different way of existing in love. One that is rooted in presence, not fear. One that allows love to breathe, rather than suffocating it. Because love, when it is real, is not about control. It's about freedom. To practice true, unattached love, you must first let go of the idea that love is something you can hold on to. Love is not a contract. It is not a guarantee. It is not something you can keep just because you want to. The moment you try to possess it, you begin to lose it. Imagine standing in the ocean with your hands open. The waves move through your fingers, slipping in and out effortlessly. Now imagine clenching your fists, trying to trap the water. The tighter you grip, the faster it escapes. Love is the same. It is meant to be experienced, not owned. Unattached love means choosing someone without needing them. It means wanting them in your life, but knowing you would still be whole without them. It is the ability to say, I love you, but I do not need you to complete me. So how do you begin? First, you learn to sit with discomfort. The need for attachment is often a response to emptiness, one that tells you that you are not enough on your own. But if you can sit with yourself, in your silence, in your solitude, without looking for someone to fill the space, you will start to see that love is not found outside of you. It is something you cultivate within. Then, you practice loving from a place of fullness, not lack. Too often, people enter relationships looking for someone to save them, to heal them, to fix the parts of themselves they don't want to face alone. But love should never be a rescue mission. Love should be an extension of the wholeness you already have. This means changing the way you speak to yourself. If you find yourself thinking, "I need them to feel happy," replace it with, "I can experience happiness, with or without them." If your mind tells you, "I am nothing without them," remind yourself, "I am everything, even on my own." Next, you must learn to love without attachment by releasing expectations. Attachment ties love to an outcome. They must stay. They must love me back. They must behave a certain way. But true love does not demand. It does not force. It does not try to shape someone into what you want them to be. Instead, it says, "I love you as you are, not as I need you to be." This shift is powerful, because when you stop loving with conditions, when you stop gripping love so tightly, it transforms. It becomes something lighter, something real, something that doesn't feel like panic or desperation, but like trust. And trust is what allows love to thrive. Most people fear loving this way because they believe it means they will lose something, that if they don't hold on tightly, love will slip away. But here is the truth. If love has to be held captive to exist, then it was never love in the first place. To love without attachment is to love with open hands, not clenched fists. It is to say, "I choose you, not because I need you, but because I want to experience life with you." This is how you begin to love without fear, and once you do, love will feel entirely different than it ever has before. Loving without attachment begins with seeing clearly, truly understanding where love ends and where attachment begins. Until now, you may have confused the two, mistaking fear for devotion, control for connection. But to love freely, you must recognize the difference. Love is expansive. Attachment is restrictive. Attachment tells you that love means holding on, securing someone's presence so they cannot leave. It convinces you that love must come with conditions, that you must be needed, wanted, reassured at all times. But love does not trap. It allows. It does not bind. It trusts. Look back at the times when you said, "I can't live without them." Was that love? Or was it the fear of what their absence would mean? Love does not make you feel like you are nothing without someone. It reminds you that you are whole, whether they stay or not. Attachment seeks certainty. Love embraces the unknown. There is a part of you that wants guarantees, that wants to know someone will never leave, will always feel the same, will always belong to you. That is attachment speaking, the part of your mind that fears instability. But love is not meant to be certain. It is meant to be chosen, again and again in freedom. If love requires absolute control to survive, then it is not love at all. Think of the last time someone distanced themselves from you. Did you panic? Did you feel an unbearable pull to make them come back? That is not love. It is attachment reacting to a perceived threat. Love, in contrast, does not grip in desperation. It allows space. It trusts that if something is real, it does not need to be chased. Attachment feeds on possession. Love thrives on presence. There is a difference between wanting someone in your life and believing they belong to you. Attachment whispers, "They are mine." Love says, "They are with me now, and that is enough." Possession seeks control, but presence exists in the moment, without demand. This is why attachment creates suffering. It is an attempt to freeze something fluid, to grasp something that was never meant to be owned. Love, in its truest form, does not seek to possess. It exists freely, without fear of loss, without the need for ownership. Attachment also demands a return. It gives with the expectation of receiving. It says, "I will love you, but only if you love me the way I need." Love, on the other hand, does not bargain. It does not count debts or demand repayment. It flows without needing to be justified. If you want to love without attachment, start by asking yourself, do I love this person as they are, or do I love how they make me feel? Do I give them the space to be themselves, or do I hold on too tightly, afraid of what their freedom might mean? The moment you stop trying to hold love captive is the moment it becomes real. Love is not about keeping, it is about experiencing. Recognizing the difference between love and attachment is only the beginning. Awareness alone will not break the patterns that have been wired into you for years. To truly love without attachment, you must go deeper. You must heal the part of you that clings, that fears, that believes love must be held tightly, or it will slip away. Healing the need for attachment starts with understanding where it comes from. No one is born afraid of being alone. That fear is learned. It is woven into you through past experiences, through every time love was given conditionally, every time you felt abandoned, every moment that taught you love was something fragile, something you had to chase. There is a reason you hold on so tightly. Maybe as a child love felt uncertain. Maybe it was given in pieces, in moments, in rewards for good behavior. Maybe you learned that love could be taken away, and ever since, you have feared losing it. Attachment is not just about the person in front of you. It is about the ghosts of everyone who has ever left. Somewhere inside you, there is a wound. And attachment is how you have been trying to keep it from reopening. But the more you grip, the more you resist loss, the deeper the wound stays buried. Healing the need for attachment requires something painful. Letting yourself feel the fear you have been running from. Instead of distracting yourself with someone else's presence, sit in the absence. If they do not text back, if they pull away, if they do not choose you the way you wish they would, stay with the discomfort. Do not reach for reassurance. Do not chase. Do not fill the silence with desperation. Let yourself feel the ache. Let yourself see what is underneath it. Most people never do this. They move from one attachment to the next, convincing themselves that the next love will be different, that this time they will not feel the same fear. But nothing changes until you stop running. The only way to heal is to face what you have been avoiding. Ask yourself, why do I fear being alone? What am I afraid will happen if no one is there to love me? The answers will come slowly, in pieces, but they will tell you everything. And when they do, you must meet them with understanding. You are not broken. The part of you that clings is just a part that has been hurt. And healing does not come from forcing yourself to let go. It comes from giving that part of you what it never received. Love yourself the way you have been asking others to love you. Be the presence you have been searching for. Stand in the emptiness and fill it, not with another person but with yourself. Because the truth is, once you heal the need for attachment, love will finally be what it was meant to be. Something you give freely, rather than something you desperately try to keep, use. Healing the need for attachment is not the end of the journey. Even after recognizing your patterns and sitting with your wounds, fear still lingers. It doesn't vanish overnight. It whispers in the background, tempting you to revert to old habits, to seek reassurance, to grip love just a little tighter. The real transformation happens when you learn to love without fear. Loving without fear means trusting love without guarantees. You have spent years believing that love is something that must be secured, that unless it is certain, it is at risk. But certainty is an illusion. People change, feelings shift, life moves in ways no one can predict. Fear tells you that if you do not try to control love, you will lose it. But love was never meant to be controlled. It was meant to be experienced moment by moment without expectation. Loving without fear requires accepting that love does not come with permanence. This is the truth most people spend their lives avoiding. They believe that if love is strong enough, if it is real enough, it will stay. They convince themselves that finding the right person will erase the fear. But love has never been about permanence. It has always been about presence. You can love someone deeply, fully, without needing to hold on to them forever. Loving without fear means letting go of the idea that love is something you earn. There is a part of you that still believes love must be proven, that you must be enough, do enough, give enough to deserve it. But love is not a transaction. You do not have to fight to be worthy of it. Real love is given freely, without conditions, without a checklist of requirements. It is not a reward for perfection. Loving without fear requires detaching love from loss. The reason love feels so terrifying is because you have attached it to pain. In your mind, love is not just love. It is the risk of heartbreak, the possibility of being abandoned, the weight of losing someone you care about. But love and loss are not the same thing. Love exists in the present. Loss exists in the mind, in the space where the fear of the future distorts the reality of now. Loving without fear means allowing yourself to love, even when it feels vulnerable. It is easy to close yourself off, to decide that detachment is the safest path, to believe that if you care less, you will hurt less. But love without fear is not about loving less. It is about loving differently. It is about choosing love, knowing it may not last, knowing it may change, knowing it may not always be returned in the way you expect. It is about loving anyway. Loving without fear requires you to stop measuring love by its outcome. Not every love will last a lifetime. Not every love story will unfold the way you imagined. But that does not make the love any less real. A love that lasts a moment, a season, a few years, it all matters. The value of love is not in its duration, but in the depth of presence it allows. Loving without fear means understanding that fear will still exist, but it no longer has to control you. Fear does not disappear. It will still surface in quiet moments, in unexpected ways. It will whisper that you need to protect yourself, that you cannot trust love, that you should hold back just in case. But you are not here to live a half-life, loving only when it feels safe. You are here to love fully, to give and receive love without bargaining for security. Loving without fear means recognizing that love will hurt sometimes, but it does not have to destroy you. You may be hurt, you may experience loss, you may watch someone walk away even when you loved them deeply, but loving without fear does not mean avoiding pain. It means knowing that love is worth it, even when it does not last forever. It means trusting that no matter what happens, you will not lose yourself in the process. Loving without fear is the choice to love as an act of freedom, not an act of survival. When you love from fear, you love to avoid loneliness, to seek validation, to hold on to something so it does not slip away. But when you love from freedom, you love simply because love is a part of you. You love not to fill a void, but to share what is already whole. Loving without fear means choosing love over control, over insecurity, over the need to guarantee an outcome. It means standing in love with open hands, allowing it to move, to flow, to exist without force. It means trusting that whatever happens, you will be okay. Because real love is never found in fear. It is only found in freedom. Loving without fear opens the door to something most people never experience. A love that is light, effortless, and unburdened by the weight of expectation. When love is no longer tied to need, it becomes something entirely different. This is the freedom of unattached love. Unattached love is not distant. It is fully present. Some believe that loving without attachment means feeling less, caring less, remaining untouched by love's highs and lows. But unattached love is not cold, it is awake. It is the ability to love fully, with intensity, without gripping onto the moment in fear of losing it. Unattached love exists in choice, not dependency. Love should never feel like a survival instinct, a desperate attempt to keep someone close to avoid emptiness. When you are whole within yourself, love is something you choose, not something you rely on. It is given freely, not out of need, but out of abundance. Unattached love thrives in space, not possession. Most people love with clenched fists, afraid that if they loosen their grip, love will slip away. But love is not meant to be held captive. When love is allowed to breathe, to move, to exist without chains, it flourishes in ways attachment never allows. Unattached love does not demand, it allows. It does not seek to change the other person, to shape them into a version that feels safer or more secure. It does not try to mold love into something predictable. Instead, it lets love be what it is, without forcing it into a shape it was never meant to take. Unattached love is peaceful, not anxious. There is a difference between passion and panic. Many mistake intensity for love, believing that longing, worry, and the fear of losing someone are proof of depth. But love should not feel like walking a tightrope, always one wrong step away from collapse. It should feel steady, secure, without the constant need for reassurance. Unattached love does not mean losing love. It means experiencing it fully. When you no longer love from a place of fear, when you no longer make love a cage, it becomes something rare, something pure. It becomes a love that exists not because it has to, but because it is free to. And that is the only love that will ever last. If this message resonated with you, I'd love to know what you think in the comments. Have you ever held on to someone out of fear rather than love? How has attachment shaped your relationships? And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. If you'd like to support the channel, consider leaving a super thanks. It really helps. See you in the next video.